Richard, tell me, you were at the head as you listened to them. Do you think everybody got an opportunity to express themselves? That's your byline, by the way, Tigo. To express themselves pretty well?
I think so, yes. It was quite interesting, and for me, I rated them C's throughout for the confidence and the articulation, even though it lacked some details. I think it's okay.
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So now they'll come and meet the entire panel, and I'm sure you'll be asking them a range of questions. Godspeed to all of them. Let's start with Araba.
When we look at the income that they generate, because they have the chance to claim a lot of patronage.
Why are you here today?
I'm applying for a middle management level position in any of the companies that would be available and that would see what I have to put to bear.
Okay. What is your understanding of management?
A manager is somebody who oversees work of other people and that person, him or herself. It's not just being a supervisor. It's not just a supervisory role, but then it's a role that incorporates you being a supervisor and driving others to work in their various fields as mini supervisors as well.
If you were offered a position, how would you describe your management style?
My management style is what the situation at hand demands. I'm not stuck in one style. I'm not dictatorial or paternalistic. I wouldn't describe my management style as one particular set style. In the same manner, I'm not faltering. That doesn't mean I'm faltering in values. When the situation demands for me to be paternalistic and show empathy, I do that. When the situation demands for me to be very firm and strict, I do that.
Now you're coming into a work environment where the position you are going to hold would require that you might have to chastise a subordinate who is older than you. Mm-hmm. How are you going to handle that? I
would handle that in a way and manner that would not make the person feel dehumanized, not to demean the person's stature, because as an African and especially as a Ghanaian, I value age and respect. And so I'd let the person know that what you did is not the right thing. Do you think together we could think of something that would have made you work better? Why did it go this way? And talk the person through it so that it doesn't happen again.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I see myself to be a cardiosurgeon who has a string of businesses. I'd love to own an old people's home.
A cardiosurgeon?
Yes, sir.
I sell telephones and airtime. Mm-hmm. So why should I give you this job?
That's right. As my training for now, if you look at my CV, I haven't had training in business or I've been trained as a science student, but I do not feel that that is a disadvantage to me to work in your company. As a science student, I bring on board critical analysis. I bring on board the ability to look something through and not just take it on the surface value. I'd be able to communicate with your customers who are not in your field of business, customers who are not really only business inclined, because I would come from both positions, having learned on the job at your office and from the background that I'm coming with.
Wonderful competencies, Araba. That's really
Thank
nice.
You, sir.
Thank you, Araba. Thanks for coming. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
If you tax the churches again, that means it's double taxation. And the churches use these resources that they gather to put up infrastructure for the church and for the community as a whole.
I see. Why are you here?
I believe I'll be able to fill a position in your company.
So you've seen a work environment before?
Yes, sir.
Which of the environments would you prefer to work in?
I will prefer the bank.
You prefer the bank?
Yes, sir.
But which of the functions? There's the HR department in the bank.
Yes.
There's the supply chain department, which you've experienced. There's the finance department. There's the marketing department. There's the sales department. Which of the areas would you want to work in?
Finance.
Finance?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you can tell us exactly what you were doing at the bank.
I handled checking of balances. I also handled customers who couldn't read and write, and they need to thumbprint. I do that, I endorse before they are able to take their money from the bank. I also print statements for customers.